Welcome back to 3D Cars, where we take a closer look at some of the most legendary vehicles ever built. Today, we're stepping back in time to explore one of the most important cars in automotive history, the 1932 Ford V8. Known to enthusiasts simply as the Deuce, this car wasn't just another model, it was a revolution that changed the automotive landscape forever. The 1932 Ford V8 was the first mass-produced car to bring a powerful V8 engine to the average American driver, making performance and style accessible like never before. When you first lay eyes on the 1932 Ford, you immediately notice the simplicity and elegance of its design. Ford offered the car in multiple body styles, including coupes, sedans, roadsters, and convertibles, giving buyers plenty of choice. The styling was clean, upright, and handsome, with sweeping fenders, a distinctive grille, and a long hood that hinted at the power beneath. The proportions were perfect for the time, combining practicality with a touch of sportiness. For many enthusiasts, the 32 Ford has become one of the most iconic silhouettes ever created, serving as the foundation for countless hot rods and custom builds over the decades. What truly set the 1932 Ford apart was what sat under that long hood, the legendary flathead V8 engine. Before Ford introduced it, V8 power was reserved for expensive luxury cars that only the wealthy could afford. Henry Ford's genius was in mass-producing a 221 cubic inch V8 that delivered 65 horsepower at an affordable price. That might not sound like much today, but in 1932, it was game-changing. The engine gave ordinary people access to smooth, powerful performance that felt well beyond its price point. The flathead V8 quickly earned a reputation for reliability, tunability, and raw character, becoming the foundation for hot rodding culture after World War II. Driving the 1932 Ford V8 was a revelation in its era. Compared to the four-cylinder engines most people were used to, the V8 delivered smoother acceleration, higher top speeds, and stronger torque for climbing hills or carrying passengers. It was paired with a 3-speed manual transmission, and while driving required effort compared to modern cars, the thrill of controlling that V8 power was undeniable. The car's suspension was simple but durable, with a solid front axle and leaf springs, while mechanical drum brakes provided stopping power. By today's standards, it may feel crude, but in 1932, the Ford V8 was advanced and exciting. Inside, the cabin of the 1932 Ford was straightforward and functional. Depending on the body style, interiors ranged from basic cloth bench seats to more upscale finishes with leather trim. The dashboard was simple, featuring just the essential gauges, with chrome accents adding a touch of style. Space was adequate for the time, and the convertible and roadster models gave drivers the option to enjoy open-air motoring. While it wasn't a luxury car, it felt solid and well-built, which was exactly what buyers wanted during the challenging years of the Great Depression. The cultural impact of the 1932 Ford V8 is impossible to overstate. At a time when money was tight and the world was recovering from economic hardship, Ford gave people a car that symbolized freedom, power, and opportunity. Young drivers, in particular, were drawn to the V8 for its performance potential, and by the 1940s and 1950s, the 32 Ford had become the foundation of the hot rod movement. Builders stripped them down, chopped the tops, added custom paint, and tuned the engines, creating some of the most iconic hot rods ever seen. Even today, the Deuce Coupe remains one of the most recognized and celebrated cars in American culture, immortalized in movies, music, and car shows across the globe. From a historical standpoint, the 1932 Ford V8 was a milestone for the automotive industry. It proved that advanced engineering didn't have to be reserved for the elite, and it set a precedent for performance cars being within reach of ordinary people. The flathead V8 remained in production for decades, influencing generations of engine designs and shaping America's love affair with horsepower. The success of the 32 Ford also helped secure Ford's place as one of the dominant automakers of the 20th century, further cementing Henry Ford's legacy. Today, surviving examples of the 1932 Ford V8 are highly prized by collectors and enthusiasts. Original, unrestored models are rare, while custom hot rods based on the 32 chassis remain a staple at car shows and auctions. Whether preserved in factory condition or modified into a fire-breathing hot rod, the 32 Ford continues to inspire admiration and respect. It's not just a car, it's a piece of living history that embodies the spirit of innovation, accessibility, and performance. The 1932 Ford V8 wasn't just another vehicle rolling off the assembly line, it was the car that democratized performance and sparked a movement that still thrives nearly a century later. It gave people power at a price they could afford, and in doing so, it became an icon of American ingenuity and culture. For many, the 32 Ford will always be the ultimate symbol of the golden age of motoring. That wraps up our look at the 1932 Ford V8. What do you think about this legendary car? Do you prefer the original factory versions, or are you a fan of the hot rod culture that it inspired? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to 3D Cars for more deep dives into the vehicles that shaped automotive history.